Indian Dohoti. My name is Tse Itso, and I'm referred to as Louise Profeit-LeBlanc. I live here in the Gatineau Hills in this beautiful little village called Wakefield. Now, several years ago, 2014, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission was just about, heading into its final years before the report in 2016. And what I noticed in this village is that not many people knew about the process of truth and reconciliation. And so I knew several people on the board, asked them what other people are doing in other communities, and they said, well, what they were doing is doing information sessions. So I thought about that for a while, and I thought, well, we're going to have an information session here as well, but it's not going to be your, chairs one behind the other, or a classroom and lots of paper and stuff like this. So we invited some lovely people here from Girigan ZB. They started a sacred fire outside while this was all going on. And this was being hosted and sponsored by the Baha'i community of La Pêche. And we wanted to establish a forum whereby people could hear what people were thinking about what is reconciliation and what, in the end, you're going to do about it. So this is what we did. We had a wonderful speaker here from Girigan ZB. He gave a talk from his perspective. There were several people in this circle who were residential school survivors, including myself. We began with prayers. We had a smudge, as I've smudged this space right here. We had a centerpiece in the middle of this big hall. And Mark Walter, who's a local wonderful artist, eco-artist is what he refers to himself as, and he's done a lot of installations made with cedar branches. And so I considered the 94 calls to action is way too much for any one brain to think about. So I asked him if he would kindly consider helping me make some mobiles, of which would hang 94 beautiful birch bark discs, which I had my friend cut. He's got a punch, like he makes canoes, he makes baskets, he makes all kinds of things. So he could actually have a cutter at his place to cut these. It was fabulous. So he cut 94 and a few extras just in case. And Mark and I put together the big hoops as part of that mobile. There were 5, and from those 5 big hoops, we hung those from the ceiling in the big hall. All of those birch bark discs represented a call to action. So that's how we started out. I said, okay, so there's 94 calls to action in all the different areas, okay? Education, health, economy, languages, housing, you name it, whatever area you can pick one, anyone. Pick one, anyone, and work on it. So that was the premise. And then we had a talking circle. Some people cried. Some people were stunned. Some people couldn't get their head around, 250,000 children over a period of 50 years were hijacked from their parents. Like, this is all new information to, I would say, probably 65 people that were here, because the rest of us were Indigenous people. So we've heard this story many times. We knew this story. We lived this story. So all that to say, it was a lovely gathering. It was a forum which I felt was necessary to get other things going in this community. And from that, We had beautiful art display in there by Natalie Coutu. She had done some beautiful paintings. But at the end of the forum, I asked the people to commit themselves on paper. And I gave them each a piece of perforated paper. I said, now write, what is your commitment? Twice. One at the top, one at the bottom. And then tear it in half and give me half. Then I asked them to put their commitment into this bundle bag, which I made for the forum. And I promised them that every day I would offer prayers for the unfoldment of their commitment, so that it would be realized. And well, Mark is still working on it, because we're going to be working on another project on the 13th of May. And he's done all kinds of work here in the community. And you know, we've had all of the orange t-shirts just recently at the finding of the 215 unmarked graves, these kind of things. And I must say, the most recent thing that I can see as a commitment to this is that we've just held a storytelling workshop of 4 days over a period of a month. And some of the storytellers will be telling their stories for the 10th anniversary. So we're keeping a story going. And that was my commitment, is to somehow share my culture. My understanding of reconciliation is that there's a sacred line. And everybody walks to it. And you have to reach across, so you can have and build better understanding. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thank you.